Welcome back to Paul Plays in Portugal. It's time for the start of a new season. We've got new players, we've got new staff, I've got a new haircut, and I've just cleaned my teeth, so I'm feeling fresh for the start of my third season in charge of Portimonense. Hope you're looking forward to this season. Thank you for the support so far on the first two seasons. Of course, this year we are aiming to win the Premier League because we were so close last season, finishing third. But it was so tight and we were going into that final game, top of the table, and we bottled it. I wasn't exactly given the best chance by the game, I do feel like I was a little bit cheated. But we made up for it by winning the Taça de Portugal against Porto 5-2 in that final. Marvellous stuff. Anyway, as you can see, these are the 18 teams that make up the Premier League in Portugal this season, and season preview wise we're predicted to finish pretty high. We're predicted to finish 6th. I mean, that's realistic really. We finished 3rd last year. We're certainly not as strong as Sporting, Porto and Benfica on paper, and probably not as strong as Braga, but we put up a really good fight. We've got some quality attacking players in particular, so I think 6th is realistic, but I'm aiming to finish 1st, of course. Sporting are favourites after winning it last year. If we look at transfers, I'm going to look at my transfers in a second, but I just want to compare against transfers of other teams. So Sporting have actually spent £38.5 million, but they've sold a lot of talent as well, but bringing in some quality players. Michael Bradley will add steel to that midfield for sure. And they've actually spent much more than their rivals. If you look at Porto, they only spent £8.5 million and they sold £54 million worth of talent. One of the players was to me, but that's not the main guy really. They've sold Alex Telles for £16.5 million, Diogo Dalot to Tottenham for £17.5 million, bringing into the team not any particularly outstanding players, so perhaps they're going to drop off a bit this year. I hope so anyway, but they've still got quality players at the team, of course, and they've got very good youth academy and also very good B teams. All of these teams have really good B teams to bring players up. So I'm sure they've probably replaced the players that they sold. Benfica, on the other hand, they've spent £0. They've only got 3 signings. I don't know how many players have come up from the B team. So will they struggle? They've struggled big time on this save so far. Braga, likewise, haven't really spent much, £1.6 million. Lots of players coming in though on a free. We haven't spent much money because we don't have much money. The board gave me about £1 million to spend in the summer. They'd certainly improved the wage budget, and the first player I went after was Lopez. So by improving the wage budget, I was actually able to increase my transfer budget to £3.6 million. The offer for Lopez, £3.1 million, was accepted, but unfortunately his wage requirements were too big for me at this stage. Maybe if we'd got into the Champions, I think if we had got into the Champions League, it would have been fine. But unfortunately, he wanted too much money. However, I have managed to get him back on loan. He was such an important star for us last season, scoring 27 goals in all competitions, of course. 16 assists as well. He was unbelievable. Joint highest average rating with Wellington. So it's so important that we got him back because he really is pivotal for the system that we play as that trequartista up front. The ironic thing is, by only coming on loan, he's actually only earning 5k a week when he could have been earning more with me if he'd made a proper transfer, just not as much as he hoped. Maybe next year we can sign him if we can get into the Champions League. Another player we managed to get back on loan, Callum Gribbin, and I don't have to pay any of his wages, so it really is amazing. There was no hope of signing him in permanently because his wage requirements were too high as well. But back on loan for a free with no wages from Manchester United. That is a win-win situation because he was fantastic for us when he came in January. So I'm glad I've managed to convince him to come back. So our main transfers coming into the team then. You will notice a couple of really big names. And we'll start with those 3 transfers. First of all, Nani. Portuguese legend, I guess. He's got 86 caps, 15 goals for his country. He's 32 now. As you can see, he's really dropped off. His pace and acceleration have really declined. He's certainly not a strong enough player to be in our starting lineup, but coming off the bench is a real good option. Look how much he's moved around recently. Of course, he started at Sporting, moved to Man United for many years, then moved on loan to Sporting before signing permanently for Fenerbahce, went to Valencia the season after, on loan to Lazio, back to Valencia, and now he's at Portimonense, back in his home country. That dribbling ability is great. He's a decent passer of the ball as well. So I'm looking forward to him coming off the bench and playing in perhaps Europa League matches. We need strength and depth because of the Europa League this year, of course. We've gone straight through to the group stages. And the other free transfer, another player that probably won't start a huge number of games, Wayne Rooney, 33 years old. He's going to be 34 in a couple months' time. But wow, he only wanted £5,500 a week as well, leaving Everton after his contract expired, and he's come to Portugal. It's really random, but I couldn't really say no to it because he's so versatile, and we need a player that can play in multiple positions, really. I think it gives us an option up front, but also gives us an option playing behind the striker and in central midfield as well. But most importantly, I think, he brings some European experience. He's played in the Champions League, he's played in the Europa League, of course he won it with Man United in 2017. And international experience as well for England. So looking forward to him. He's our second Englishman in this team. But players we actually signed then. So the first transfer, £92,000, coming from Porto. He was in their B team, I think, last season. Didn't play a huge number of games, but Fernando Fonseca, who probably will be my first choice right back. Mosquito annoyed me after getting sent off against Benfica on the last day of the season. He just ruined our chances of getting something in that game. He's on 2.1k a week. He's only on a 1-year deal. I do struggle to convince players to come for more than one season. So it's kind of like I'm paying 92 grand for a player that might not be here in 2 seasons, which is a little bit annoying. But hopefully he'll be a decent player for us. Secondly, now I overpaid for this guy. He's a backup goalkeeper coming from Montpellier, 350k. I think it's because they only paid £2.2 million 2 seasons ago, so they didn't want to make a crazy loss. They still made quite a big loss on him. And he is just backup. He's not as good as Ferreira. I've tried to look for better players than Ferreira that will come to this club, but I just can't find anyone. I know he has made the odd cock-up. I'm not sure it's always his fault, but he's been a solid keeper for us. A little bit underrated by me, I think, because he has done relatively well. He's worth over £500,000 as well. Now, the main thing about us qualifying for the Europa League is all of the value of our players has gone dramatically up. Wellington's now worth £4.8 million. Lopez, that hasn't changed because he's just on loan. But Bruno Lamas is worth £2 million. Nakajima's still only worth 1.2. It has gone up quite a lot, but he should be worth more than that, I think. Especially as I gave him a new wage. Same with Lamas. New contract for Wellington as well, so a few players have been tied down to longer contracts, as has Marcel, by the way, who's been an underrated defensive midfielder for us. I think he's been really solid for us over the last 2 seasons. So Europa League has certainly benefited the team. It does mean I've had to give bigger wages to convince them to stay, but their value's gone up, so if a team does want to come in for them, I'm not going to get as ripped off as I mean, it was a decent fee for Paulinho, but it wasn't enough really for the quality of player he was. Moving back to transfers though, next up, Alan Lucinio, or Lucinio, might be Lucinio. He is only 19 years old, and to sign him for his release clause of 90k was brilliant. And I pipped Rio Ave to the post because he was on loan to them last season, and I like him. He's got potential to be a quality player, I'm sure. Quite aggressive, as you can see there. Very good teamwork and work rate though, which is always nice. Decent physicals for his age. Good crosser. I like. He's a good all-round fullback, I think. So I think he's going to be a star for us. No pressure. And lastly, Mirko Ivanic from Montenegro. He's got 7 caps for his country at the age of 25. Versatile player, can play anywhere in the attacking half of the pitch, as you can see there. Probably going to play central midfield. It's a toss-up between him and Lamas, really, to play there. But I think he's better. I think he's a better player than Lamas. So, yeah, great signing. £350,000. I think that's a bit of a bargain, considering Borisov paid 825k for him. So I'm looking forward to seeing him do wonders for us this season. Also, no pressure on you, my friend. By the way, everything's new this season, apart from a damn cold. It seems to just be flaring up randomly every now and then. So I think my throat probably... Sorry, but I have to keep recording. I'm fit enough to do videos. I might not... My voice might be a bit weird, but it's not too bad. Delair's gone on a free. His contract expired. Ruben Fernandez's contract expired. Gustavo Hebling, I sold him for £7,500. And we got rid of Chuma, who I did sign early on in this save. But he just wasn't ever going to reach the potential that he has. He's too old now, he's 22, he's never going to reach that potential, so I got rid of him as well. So this is what the team looks like going into our third season. I just feel like my throat suddenly just cleared randomly. I don't know what's going on there. The position I really need to improve upon is centre-back, and I've really struggled to find centre-backs that want to come. It's very frustrating, but I think this guy's going to come. Alberto Rodriguez, a Peruvian. I just want a backup to Vinicius, who I'm going to keep the faith with, and Postignolo, who has had a few bids come in for him, but I have rejected them, basically because I don't have any other centre-backs. But I've gone through everyone. I almost got Keogh, the Irishman, on loan. Not on loan, on a free, but he rejected me. Trevor Chalobah, I offered a loan for him from Chelsea, but he rejected me. They just went to other clubs. It was really annoying, because I was going to sign these players, and then they'd reject me at the last minute. So it ended up coming into our first match of the season, which, by the way, is the Supertaça Candido de Oliveira, which is against Porto. I think it's the Community Shield equivalent. And we're taking on, obviously, the league champion Sporting. We want to get revenge. But we've come into this game with only 2 centre-backs, because I've just not been able to get these signings over the line. It's really annoying. So Vinicius and Postignolo have played every single friendly at centre-back for me. So they should be very match sharp. Maybe we'll just have to end up playing Wayne Rooney there. He's versatile enough, I think. But yes, as you can see, pre-season, wonderful, apart from one blip against Brentford. 3-0 defeat, that wasn't great. I went on a sort of mini tour of the UK and Ireland. We took on Galway United, Brentford and Oxford. But some real thrashings in here against very weak opposition. Now, I like to take on weak opposition just to get the confidence high, especially the attacking players, just inspire them. You know, they know they're taking on easy opposition, but they're scoring goals, and scoring goals against anyone is a great feeling, I think. So 8-0 win, a 14-0 win, a 4-1 win, and then a 12-0 win against Immortal. What a name that is, by the way. And Rui Costa scored an unbelievable goal. Where is it? Is it the 77th minute? I can't find this. Oh, wait. I think it was in this game. Yes. That's why I can't find it, because it was in this game against For Cubo. Anyway, I've built it up enough. It was magnificent. And I've clicked on the wrong one again. I can't find it. Why can't I find this goal? It must have been in the 64th minute. Here we go. This is it. Nani with a corner. On the volley. Boom. Oh, I love these sorts of goals. Stunning strike. That was the goal of pre-season for us. Anyway, today we're taking on Sporting in this very important match. But next episode, I just want to plan ahead. Episode 20 is huge, because for the first time I'm going to do a treble live com in this series. And the reason why is because we've got an incredibly tough start to the season. Boa Vista we have struggled against a couple times this season, if I just look at past meetings. This season on the save, we've actually won 3 and lost 3 and drawn 1. So it's very equal. So that's a tough start. I'm not going to show that one though. But we've then got Benfica, Sporting and Porto in a row. What a horribly tough start to our season. If we get results against them, then we mean business once again this season. If we lose all 3, I think we're in for a bit more of a tough season this year. But against Benfica, for example, we've only beaten them once. So I really want to get revenge against them. Sporting, we've got a decent record. 2 wins, 1 draw, 2 losses. Of course, we're playing them today as well. Porto, we actually have the best record against, because we've only lost 1 game against them. We've won 3 and drawn 2, so that's really impressive. So those 3 games will be an episode 20, a nice long one for you. But let's focus on this match today. We can win a trophy already. I know it's not the most important trophy in the world, but I want to get revenge against them for winning the title. And this is the team I'm going with. We've got Ferreira in goal, of course. We've got new signings Fonseca and Luciano at fullback. Postignolo and Vinicius, our centre-back partnership from the second half of last season. They're back. Marcel still in defensive midfield. Ivanic has come into the middle for Lamas. I'm trying him out there. I think they're similar players, but I think Ivanic is slightly better. I could always play Ivanic there, or even Lamas there, but I'm going with Gribin today, just like last season. Wellington and Nakajima on the wings, with Lopez up front. So it's a similar lineup, but there's a few changes. I'm happy with the squad size as well. It's not too big, it's not too ungainly, but it's not too small, because we need players for our Europa League challenge, don't we? I just realised I've forgotten to change training. I don't want it on fitness anymore. I want it on team cohesion on low. I tend to put it on low because I think it stops lots of injuries, but maybe that's completely wrong. Still playing the same tactic, prayer to Russia. I've got no reason to change the tactics really. Sporting still got Origi up front, still got Carvalho in defensive midfield, Wallison in the centre. They've got a very good team. You can see why they're probably favourites to win the league. But I'm very happy with my squad. Really, really happy with my first 11 in particular. And we've got some veterans as backup in Nani and Rooney. We've still got Bruno Tabata, who did get injured for quite a long time in pre-season. He's never managed to become my first choice, has he? He's got Nakajima and Gribin to compete with in the positions he prefers. Looking forward to this one. We're playing away from home. I think the league winners of this competition get to play at home. That's my understanding anyway, because they're playing at home. So that must be the reason why. But yeah, let's try and pull off an upset today. Get revenge for them winning the league title. We've won a corner already. Gribin plays it all the way back to the edge of the area. Unfortunately, it wasn't a Rui Costa moment, and they managed to break away. A much better defensive system from Sporting compared to the weird non-league team I played with the strange name. I don't want to be offensive by saying weird, but you know, they've got an unusual name. Here's Nakajima. Oh, look at him go. That was brilliant. And Marcel picks it up. Franco Lopez finds Fernando, and it's deflected into the keeper's arms. That's Fernando Fonseca, so he's just called Fernando. We'll call him Fernando then. Free kick to Sporting, and it's just over the bar. We escape again. Quite a few highlights at the start of this game. And another one on the 10th minute. Luciano plays it into Nakajima, who finds Franco Lopez, the Argentinian, charging forwards. Finds Wellington, who was sensational last season. Crosses it in. Lopez headed away. Ivanec, the Montenegrin, finds Marcel. We've got a multicultural team now, haven't we? Lopez. Gribin over the bar. That was a good opportunity for Gribin. Forgot to mention, I've actually promoted 2 of the youth team to the first team. You might have spotted the names in the squad overview that I showed you. I'll show you in a minute actually. At half time we'll have a look at those 2 players because I forgot to show you. Stars for the future, hopefully. Possibly could do a job this year as well. We've won a corner again. Gribin plays it back. This time it does find Lopez. Lopez hits it just over the bar. Really unlucky. A few players looking nervous. I'm just going to encourage them. As a corner, oh, it's off the post. We escape. We escape for the time being anyway. And Luciano in the right back position was bringing it forwards there. Here he is again in left back. Fine. Is he right footed? I haven't actually looked. Here's Lopez charging through. Can't finish. He's played 2 balls with his right foot now, so I'm trying. I didn't have a look at this. He's left. Oh good, he is left footed. That's fine. Not so keen on right footed left backs. Unless you want to play inverted wing backs, I suppose, or something like that. But half time, 0-0. We're still in this. There's been a few chances for both teams, but we haven't managed to take advantage of those chances. Let's have a look then at my 2 youngsters that I was telling you about. So first of all, it's Idinu Karubo from Guinea. 17 years old, born in 2002. Makes me feel old. And he's got real potential. He's already got 2-star current ability, which is why I've pushed him into the first team. He's not too far off the players that we have, to be honest. He's the same ability as Wayne Rooney playing in central midfield, and Marcel and Gribin. So he's not a bad player whatsoever. Good passer, good first touch. As you can see, teamwork, work rate's high, determination's high, so that's always good. In fact, I do want to tutor him. I'm not sure if I can do this in the middle of a match, so I'll do that afterwards, just to make sure it does take effect. And also, I've shown this guy before as well, Luis Encarnacio. He's got 15 on finishing, 15 on heading, 13 first touch, 13 composure. Good plays. The only problem is he's not the paciest. Well, he's got 12 pace, which is alright, but acceleration's very slow, 9. But he scored so many goals, it won't show. Oh, it does show actually. He scored 30 goals last season in the youth team, which is just fantastic. He did get injured for a few weeks as well. So 30 goals and 22 starts and 4 sub appearances. He deserves his chance to prove himself in the first team. I don't know how much he will play because, of course, we only play 1 up front. We've got Franco Lopez, we've got Rui Costa as backup who can play in that trequartista role. He can't play in the trequartista role, can only play advanced forward. Stanley is still here as well, of course. So we have various options, and Rooney. So there's different options up front if things don't work out for Lopez, for example, which I hope he has just as good a season as last year. But he's not done it today yet. I'm just going to keep it the same, I think, and just encourage Lopez because he's looking nervous in our bright orange kits. I do like the orange kits. It's just a bit different, isn't it? First highlight of the second half then. Fernando, right back, plays it back to Ivanic. Into Marcel, who finds Nakajima. This is nice play. Nakajima, lovely ball. Lopez from the angle. He just didn't have the shot for some reason. I think it's just because it was running to such a angle that he didn't had the confidence to shoot from there. But oh, what a ball from Ivanic. Nakajima. Oh, goal. Wow. 1-0 up against Sporting. Nakajima with the first Portimonense goal of the season. But it was all about Ivanic's pass. This is what Lamas used to do but hasn't done in the last few months. That was a sensational ball. He doesn't get the assist though, unfortunately. But it really was a sensational ball from Ivanic. Wellington's looking nervous. He's not having a good day. He won Player of the Season last year for us. He got the most assists in the league last year. But it's not working out. We've still got Pedro Sá as Marcel's backup, by the way. I'm going to bring on Nani to play right wing. He's obviously got no pace whatsoever. But he's still got some dribbling ability. I'm sure he can put a deadly cross in every now and then. Veteran of Portuguese football. I think we're going to go standard now. Can we hang on? Time to make another substitute. It's not been Lopez's day, has it? Ivanic is on a 6.6, but he deserves higher for that pass that he did. It was amazing. Marcel, he's run himself into the ground, that position. Because we've only got two midfielders, really, the defensive midfielder has to do a lot of work and always gets tired. So on comes Pedro Sá. Very good backup, really. They're almost equal ability. I just prefer to play Marcel slightly more defensive. Pedro Sá's a bit more of a creative, deep player, I think. 15 minutes, just over 15 minutes to go. Is Sporting going to get back into this as they come forward here with Mateus playing it in to Ortiz, who's come off the bench. Oh no, this looks dangerous. Good save for Avery. Holds on to it as well in his bright yellow outfit. Last substitute. I'm going to leave Lopez on. We're going to throw in Bruno. No, not Bruno Tabata because he's pretty tired. We're going to throw in Bruno Lamas to play in a more... In fact, I'll swap him with Ivanic. Ivanic is a bit better in the more advanced role, I think. Do I go defensive? Maybe I should have learned my lesson from Moreirense. That last minute equaliser. Here they come, Sporting. This looks dangerous, but it's an easy save. I'm going to do it. It's the right thing to do in this situation, although I've not been able to make the changes before they're having this chance anyway, so might be a bit late. As another good save by Ferreira, diving to his right, clinging onto it like a lobster. And he's punted it up the pitch. Ivanic can't win that. Nakajima on the ball now, finds Ivanic, who finds Lopez. Lopez, can we make it 2? Oh, it's back to Nakajima, who does make it 2. He's got his second goal from a deflected defensive tackle from a Sporting player. 2 goals already for him. He was good last season. He just was not quite as good as Lopez and Wellington. So he didn't stand out as much, but he was a really good player for us last year. Lots of goals, lots of assists, and he's already got 2 this season. And that has surely won us this game and won us this competition just to make up for not winning the league last year. There we go, final whistle, 2-0, comfortable win. And we get to hold another trophy with lots of orange and black paper falling onto the pitch. That's going to be a bit of a pain to clear up, isn't it? Unless I hope it's biodegradable, by the way. If it's not, that's disgrace, because that's an environmental disaster. No one actually said yay to my team talk. That's annoying, because we had a great game. I'm going to say to Nakajima, very, very proud of it. No reaction. What's going on there, lads? But anyway, thank you for watching today's episode 19 of Paul Plays in Portugal. PPP, whatever you want to call it. And loving it. Absolutely loving it. Until next time, enjoy FM18. I'll see you very soon.